Hi, my name is Eleanor Froehlich, and this is my research project, a juvenile aplodontid rodent from the John Day Formation of Oregon. So aplodontids are a group of rodents, and the only extant member of family Aplodontidae is the mountain beaver, which doesn't really look like a beaver. However, there are a lot of extinct members of family Aplodontidae, and a lot of them can be found in the John Day Formation of Oregon. I identified this specimen, JODA 2942, which came out of a locality north of Dayville, Oregon, and comes out of the Turtle Cove Member of the John Day Formation. It's been dated to around 26 to 24 million years of age. JODA 2942 is a left mandibular fragment containing a partial incisor, a deciduous fourth premolar, a first molar, and a second molar. A deciduous fourth premolar can also be called a milk tooth or a baby tooth, so this was a very young individual. The specimen is in its entirety about 1.2 centimeters long, so this thing is tiny. So to figure out what JODA 2942 was, I compared it to a lot of different rodents from the John Day Formation and came up with two possibilities. Prodontia, which is on the right of results 2, and Rudiomys mcgrewi, which is on the left. And in the center is a diagram of the occlusal surface of JODA 2942, with a comparison chart underneath it. So I thought it was originally Prodontia, and then I found Rudiomys and went, no, this is Rudiomys. So the reason it's not Prodontia, which is actually an easier question to answer than why it is Rudiomys in some ways, is that the morphology of JODA 2942 is very, very different than Prodontia. You can see this specifically in the way the teeth are shaped of M1 and M2, and then also where these faucetids and inflexids are, these pits and divots in the teeth. And then if you compare the measurements of Prodontia to JODA 2942, you find that Prodontia has much squarer teeth. The width, the buccolingual distance, is much closer to the anterior posterior, the length of the tooth in Pseudolelodon than in JODA 2942, and that the measurements for Rudiomys mcgrewi match much more closely with JODA 2942, and this is why I named JODA 2942 Rudiomys mcgrewi. This is really, really interesting, as that is the type of Rudiomys mcgrewi, and it's very, very fragmentary. It's very busted up, and it's kind of hard to tell what's happening. JODA 2942, on the other hand, is much more complete, and it's got almost unworn morphology, because as that P4 is a deciduous tooth, it's a very young individual. These teeth have barely been used. And this gives us a potentially really, really good comparison tool for what is Rudiomys mcgrewi and what isn't. And also, the Rudiomys mcgrewi type doesn't have a fourth premolar. The tooth's just gone. And while JODA 2942 has a deciduous fourth premolar, and there are differences between deciduous morphology and adult dentition morphology, it does give us a good place to start. For future work, we may be able to micro-CT scan JODA 2942 to be able to potentially see the morphology of this unerupted P4 occlusal surface, which would be really, really cool. And also, the type of Rudiomys mcgrewi is actually the only figured specimen of the entire genus at the moment, so anything new is really, really helpful. And we can use any of these specimens to hopefully make new identifications in the future and figure out how Rudiomys lived. Thank you.